All right, so we're continuing with chapter 12 of the Srrws of Satan. I finished off chapter 11. Very much he's told Lady Sybil and Lord Elton that yes, I'm buying the family house, because Lady Sybil doesn't give a fuck about him. Her she's like, she doesn't listen to him, which offends his pride. He should be the most fascinating genius she's ever met. Doesn't come across as a genius, just comes across as a guy who's very arrogant and feels like he should be bowed down upon, like a lot of aspiring writers. And so he drops the bomb that, oh, I bought your family house. How do you like that? To catch her attention, which does catch their attention. But Lady Sybil changes her thing to talking about this little girl. When she was growing up, there was this little girl across the way who was playing and making buttercup rings and stuff like that. And I wanted to play with her, but my maid said, oh, no, she's beneath you. And that girl, the little girl, was Mavis Clare, which is like, everyone else is like, holy shit, it's Mavis Clare. Mavis Clare is a genius, apparently. She's written novels and is much loved as an author. She does not have a penny in the world that she does not earn. She's not plain, which is like fucking Tempest. Tempest is like, oh, I suppose she must be extremely plain then. I observe. Plain women always try to do something more or less startling in order to attract the attention denied to their personality. So, yes, fucking Tempest is being a real asshole. Definitely this is Corelli's comment on how her own reception is like, women aren't capable of producing anything but trash, nothing that's worth considering. Now, you can be a woman and produce works of genius like Jane Austen and stuff like that. You could also be somebody who makes stuff that perhaps does not outlive its time, but was very successful in its time, which is, I guess, Corelli here, who's definitely done this work. Take this work, though it's funny, she talks about how all the multiple editions is just a bullshit game. So when you look at the front of the book and you see how many printings this went through, it's like, are these all tiny printings that were given away at first to gin up the sale? I don't know. It's a little meta comment on that itself. But yes, we're dwelling a lot on Mavis Clare, which makes me think we're going to meet Mavis Clare, because there's definitely a thing here of you can't be rich and also be somebody who is a creative genius. It's God and Mammon, and God is what the immortals bring, but if you become rich, you lose God, and you're incapable of producing work of possibility, which does seem like something that poor people would come up with as a thing. Versus, I have a feeling there probably are people out there who have been rich and successful and also produced art. Now, there is that necessity is the mother of invention. Sometimes if you don't have the money, then you'd produce a lot more art. You have a lot more focus in your life to get stuff done. So there is that. And there's just also that thing of like, oh, I made something and it worked, so I keep on doing it. And I need it because I need the money. Even if I'm tired, maybe I'll kind of keep on going. So there is that, but this seems to be very much the God and Mammon thing seems to be going here. It's like the devil has given him all the money in the world, but said, you're never going to be an artist, which is going to kill him, because there's the one thing he wants to be more in the world. Well, he wants revenge on all his enemies. He wants to tell everyone, fuck you. He wants to show that, like, oh, I actually am a genius, and if I only had the money, I could be a genius. But the devil seems to be saying, no, if you're a genius, it would work out. It would work out. You'd make it anyways. You're probably not a genius, Tempest. You're not a genius. You're a loser. Which might be the sad conclusion that he is going to have to come to by the end of this book, because I don't think Marie Corelli particularly likes Tempest that much. There's some ways she sympathizes with her character, but there's other ways you're just like, fuck you, dude. And one of those is definitely his incredible misogyny, which she's quite good at tweaking here and illustrating. I'm sure this is all stuff that she got to hear herself, coming up, and probably still hears at this point from all the fucking critics and just general men in general and dismissing her work. Fortunately, it might also just be not that great. You know, might be okay. Might be okay. This seems to me to be okay, but it's not like great echoing works of literature that are vibrating in me like someone like Edith Wharton, whose books also did actually sell really well, but is someone who's actually has lasted. So that would be the counterexample. Mavis, Edith Wharton totally outsold. Henry James was completely dismissed, but now seems to be rising and rising in her status as we're going along. Not that that diminishes someone like Henry James, who also didn't sell in his time, but you know, just like you shouldn't dismiss one, either one of them, is what I'm saying, especially not on the basis of their gender. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.